What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we finally went ahead and got the official Battlefield 6 reveal trailer, and it's looking pretty dang good, to be honest with you guys, and we got a decent amount of information packed into this bad boy. So, of course, today we're going to go ahead and dive on deep, cover all the information within this trailer, and give my, personal opinions on the good and also the bad. But, ladies and gentlemen, of course, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 morning Eastern Time. And if you guys are interested in my live streams, I'll actually be live right now while this video is up and active. So, of course, if you guys want to go ahead and chat it up with me or even talk about any of this information, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all go ahead and tell that this whole reveal was revolved around the campaign side of things, and also to give us a little, backstory or setting to what this game is all about. You have to keep in mind that a lot of the gameplay that we have all been seeing is more so for, I would say, the super hardcore audience. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. People who went ahead and participated in the closed, alpha, who actually even knew there was a closed alpha going on, I would say the mass population of people out there were not those individuals. Those individuals were probably the hardcore audience, people who love Battlefield, follow everything about Battlefield. A lot of us who, watch YouTube videos and keep up to date with everything that's going on. Those are the individuals who, go that deep into it. Watching leaked footage, right? That's all we knew about this game was leaked footage. And also, data mined information, so on and so forth. But for the mass population, nobody knew what this game was going to be about. Not even in the slightest. So the developers had to go ahead and put something together to showcase what this game is. And I think they did a phenomenal job at doing so. And I have to say this as well. I am very happy the way that they're handling the modern day setting. We already have so many other modern day games out there, and it's nothing wrong with that, right? I think the most popular time period is the modern time period, what we are dealing with right now. I think people are always the most intrigued with that. It's fun to bounce back to classic titles, World War II, World War I, and it's fun to go into the future. But I think the, best bet for a lot of companies out there is to tap into that modern time frame. So I don't really think it would have mattered for Battlefield wherever they placed it, but I think it was just a very smart idea to make it take place, I'm sure the biggest portion of it at least, on home turf, USA. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen something like that probably since Modern Warfare 3, really. And I believe Battlefield 3 as well. There might be some other smaller games out there, but on a larger scale produced by a AAA development team. Not too many, so I think this was a very smart play. And also when it comes down to maps, for example, like with the multiplayer experience, because again, that's what I mostly play is multiplayer. Campaign, I'm going to discuss it a little bit further, obviously, since the whole reveal's around that, but I love multiplayer and Battlefield games. And the map selection with the setting of this game is going to be such a breath of fresh air, honestly. I think it's going to be very entertaining. But for the campaign side of things, I gotta be real. Because of this setting, this is the first time that I actually feel enticed to want to know a bit more about a Battlefield campaign. I've never been too big into them whatsoever. As I just stated, I love the multiplayer side of Battlefield. I think that is the bread and butter of the franchise. But let's be honest, I guess the multiplayer experience is the bread and butter of a lot of franchises, even Call of Duty, although the campaigns pop in many ways for them. But when it comes down to it, when it comes to Battlefield campaigns, I just never felt it, I guess. It just wasn't really there for me. But something about this one is making me kind of intrigued, especially with how they're laying everything out here. And for the first time in a long time, I might actually go ahead and hop back into one. Also, I would love if you guys would go down in the comment section and let me know if I'm going crazy here. But this trailer it just has an odd COD trailer vibe to it. And not in a bad way. I want to make that very clear. Not in a bad way. It doesn't feel like, it's going to play out like COD, because we've already seen dozens and dozens and dozens of, leaked footage of what this game is. So we know it looks and probably even feels like Battlefield, although I haven't played it, so I can't confirm this, but everybody that I know of that has played it says it plays really good and plays like a Battlefield game. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but for the trailer, it has some COD vibes to it in a good way, because Call of Duty, let's be honest, is very good when it comes to selling their campaigns and pushing those bad boys. And this seems to have some inspiration I don't know if that's going to be a bad thing, because don't forget the leaks behind the scenes where we've been hearing a ton of information that EA is trying to copy almost everything COD-like. But if they can copy the good aspects while leaving out the bad aspects, then I think it could be a win-win situation for us. But with that being said, let's actually hop into, some of my concerns. Although this is looking amazing, guys, don't get completely fooled by this. It looks solid, but we have no clue what EA DICE has in store for us. And they don't have the most popular track record as of late. They have to kind of redeem themselves with this community here. And we all know these trailers are going to be popping. They did the exact same thing with Battlefield 2042. That game sold off of the trailer. That's it. They made tons of cash, and then everybody dipped afterwards because the game just wasn't up to par. These trailers are very convincing, and although it looks good, you have to take it, with a grain of salt. There were also leaks behind the scenes that the campaign was not turning out good whatsoever, and that it's in a horrible spot. So we have no clue. Again, EA and every, big publisher out there, I would say one of the biggest portions of their budget for a game that they produce is marketing. Marketing is key in so many ways. It's huge. And if you can market something correctly, you will be able to make a big chunk of cash, even if that player base doesn't stick around. Battlefield 2042 being a perfect example. So don't get fooled by the marketing. Keep your eyes peeled for anything that might be suspicious, and don't let EA pull one over on you completely yet. But I'll be real, if they can keep these vibes, if they can keep this atmosphere, if they can keep this looking like Battlefield, I think we might have something decent on our hands. Again, I'm more so here for the multiplayer experience. Campaign, it is what it is. If it flops, it might sound rude, but it's not really a big concern of mine. I want multiplayer to be solid. And so far, from what I see here, I'm not getting finessed or fooled by any of the cinematics and CGI. No, forget that noise. I am noticing just a theme, the atmosphere. Almost like they know exactly what this community has been begging for ages out of them. So my question is, are they going to keep this atmosphere, or is it going to go out the door after Season 1 when they try to go ahead and stuff it full of the most insane-looking cosmetics known to mankind? I can't get that out of the back of my mind. I'm partially convinced they won't, because Battlefield 2042, as I stated many times before, that was the perfect game for them to try out that concept. It was amazing. It didn't take itself seriously. All the soldiers are joking around. It was the best way for them to incorporate clown skins and animal skins and try that business model within the Battlefield franchise. But they didn't. So that helps me a bit with not being so worried that EA is going to try to screw us over in that department. But when it comes down to this new one, and still hearing all the leaked information about EA trying to copy everything that Call of Duty's doing, I see a lot of Modern Warfare 2019 atmosphere out of this trailer. Believe it or not, again, go down the comments section and let me know if you agree or disagree. But I do feel some Modern Warfare 2019 aspects within here. They're really hammering home that concept. I just hope the gameplay stays to its core. I hope the developers really work with the community. It seems like they are. In the beta, don't forget, guys, they're going to have 2 separate playlists. One allowing you to have class-locked weapons, and the other allowing you to have unlocked class weapons. So they're really working with us and trying to interact and form something good for us. I think we just have to see it, right? We have to see it to believe it and not get finessed by any of the hype and marketing budget. And from what I can tell, ladies and gentlemen, on July 31st, that is when we're going to be having the multiplayer reveal. So hopefully we can dig deep there. I believe there's going to be a beta shortly after, but during that reveal, I hope the devs come out and really have good talks. We want to hear everything about this game, multiplayer-wise, what their design decisions are, where their headspace is at with this game, what certain changes are going to do to the overall formula. There's so many things that have to be discussed that will be crucial for the success of this game, that I hope they dive deep, and it's not just going to be all lip service and just, trying to partially hype things here and there. We want to know about the multiplayer side of the game. I want them to really dig deep and hopefully they'll take a lot of community concerns and bring them to light in that event. Especially if they can go ahead and bring up the class discussion, that would be amazing to hear live and in action. I mean, there's so many things that needs to be discussed, but hopefully we find out soon, ladies and gentlemen. But as always, go down in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think of this overall reveal. Are you guys excited about the new Battlefield? Do you guys not really care about the new Battlefield? I would love to read them all. Personally, I'm optimistic about this because I think it's going to be better than 2042, but the concerns of EA are still there. With time, we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post your daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I'll link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.